Mabuhay and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tez Milan. I am a Filipina American creative on a mission to do a deep dive into my lost Philippine heritage to learn as much as I possibly can and to share that with you. Today, what I'd like to share with you is sort of where I'm at along this whole journey. I feel like I need to explain why I've been a little bit absent this year. It's been tough to come back to the series. I've learned so many things over the last couple of years and met so many incredible people and filmed a lot of content that is still waiting in my hard drives. But I've needed a little bit of a break. And I feel like that's been happening on social media. A lot of creators have been expressing this like, I'm gonna quit, or I need to pivot my content, or I need to be more real and authentic. And there's this whole movement towards just being more real, not only with our audiences, but also with ourselves. Because it is a lot to be a creator. I mean, there's so much that goes into it that goes beyond just the filming and the traveling and all of the amazing things that we get to do and see and learn and experience. But there is also this other side to prepping all of that material that we capture for you called editing. And editing is the ugly beast in the corner of the room that nobody wants to talk about, but is there for every single creator. And whether you are able to hire somebody who can edit for you or you have to do it all of yourself, it just takes a lot of time, energy, money, effort, all of the things that it takes. And especially the creative juju that goes into editing, especially when you're doing it yourself like I do, it just takes a lot out of you. The first 2 years of the series, I was like dedicating so much time and energy to creating content, editing content, posting content, that I ended up burning myself out. And I didn't even realize I was burnt out until I took a break and then was like, oh, I'll just, take this break and I'll be back after a week. And then I was like, oh, I'll be back after this next week, which then ended up being 2 weeks of a break. And I was like, okay, I'll post something. And I have been able to post a few things, but we are now at the beginning of March, almost the middle of March. And I have posted a total of 3 videos this year. And that is just like, for me, unheard of, because my schedule was to do a video once a week, every Friday. And then that became sort of more like, oh, it'll be on the weekend. And then since this year has started, it has been like more like every 2 to 3 weeks. While I haven't been posting, I am still running myself all over the planet, capturing content and learning things about the Philippines and about my heritage and history and meeting so many incredible people. I have interviews, one in particular from 2022, but I have interviews from all of last year and the beginning of this year that are just, for me, mind-blowing, because I was just like, oh my gosh, there's all of these connections that we can make. Filipino identity is so much broader than the tinikling, which is this, bamboo dance that we do, or adobo, which is this amazing dish that we eat. And the history of, the ties between Filipinos and I mean, there's so much more. And we're all just starting to discover all of this amazing stuff. So here are just a few of the things that I have been uncovering over the last year plus that I want to share with you so that you have a bit of an idea of where this is all headed, so that you're not just like, where the heck did Tez go? Okay, what's happening? Is anything happening? There is so much happening, and I just have to get myself back to a place of rejuvenation where I can edit it all for you and post it and share it. So last year, where I went after the Philippines is I was in New York City for a bit. I was meeting a bunch of creatives there, Filipino creatives that I cannot wait to share with you. I also traveled to Mexico, actually twice, but in particular, I traveled to Mexico City. And there is all of this history that ties Filipinos together with Mexicans that I think a lot of us we don't recognize or we forgot about. But it's incredible because the Spaniards colonized the Philippines and Mexico at pretty much around the same exact time. Within the 1500s, that's when they first came to our respective countries. And for the next 200 to 300 years, they changed everything about our way of life. I mean, we were so different as a people before the Spanish came and colonized us, and then after. And it's incredible because this pivot in our evolution as a people happened at exactly the same time by the same influence, so to speak. And so that really ties us together culturally, historically. There was a ship, for example, many ships, the Manila galleons is what they're called. And these ships traveled between Manila and then they would go to Acapulco, Mexico. And because of this trade route that happened for, I think, a little over 100 years plus, there are so many cultural things that we shared, that we brought over, that was brought over from there to the Philippines. Things that you thought were indigenous and native to, like the Philippines, are actually from Mexico, and vice versa. It's mind-blowing. Another line that I've been following over this past year is I've been traveling a lot, actually all over the world, to dive deeper on the naming of a battleship after a Filipino who was given the US Medal of Honor. Yes, there's a battleship that's going to be named after a Filipino. It's like the first one ever. So cool. And, you know, this not only is an amazing story in and of itself, but also the ties between the Filipinos and the Navy and the US and the, you know, the military. There's this really strong link between these two major organizations in the world and the people that is brought together and the people that is affected that I am just scratching the surface on. And so I've traveled to Virginia Beach, I've traveled to San Diego, I'm gonna travel to Las Cruces, New Mexico. I was in Guam discovering this as well. I mean, there's just so much, because our history in regards to the military is so intertwined. And then also I went back to the Philippines at the beginning of this year. I got to go to all of the places that I had wanted to go to that I wasn't able to do the first time around because I ran out of time because I was traveling to so many other places outside of the capital. Yeah, there has been so many amazing things that I have gotten to do. And I just wanted to share with you where I'm at, because it's important that you know that there is a human being on the other side of the screen creating all of this, not only for myself, but also for you. Thank you for having so much patience for me. You know, I think that I will probably need another month or two before I really get back on the horse of editing. I was always like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be another week and I'll see you next week or I'll see you the week after. And I really think that these videos are gonna be a little bit more sporadic over the next couple of months, probably until late spring. And then yeah, I'll get back up on that horse and start editing all of this amazing stuff for you, because there's so much to discover and share. So till then, thank you for being there with me. I will see you when I see you. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If there's other things that you want me to discover along the way regarding the Philippines, or some interesting connection that you've discovered about the Philippines, leave it in the comment section down below. I'm looking at everything that you share with me, and I take it to heart, and I have it in my notes. And yeah, there's just so much to learn and experience together. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Paalam. Goodbye.